Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of coins. And in this video, we're going to explore a very interesting piece, the Australia 20 cents coin from the year 2002, especially in very fine condition, and what its market value looks like today in dollars. If you're a coin collector, a beginner, or just someone curious about the hidden value of everyday coins, this video is going to be both informative and exciting for you. So sit back, relax, and let's explore the story behind this coin. The Australian 20 cents coin has a rich and meaningful history. First introduced in 1966, when Australia shifted to decimal currency, this coin has been a part of everyday transactions for decades. The 2002 version continues that legacy, representing stability and continuity in Australian currency. Now, when we talk about a coin being in very fine condition, it means the coin has clearly been in circulation, but still holds a lot of its original detail. You can still see the important design elements, though there may be some wear on the higher points. For collectors, this condition is quite respectable because it reflects both history and preservation. The 2002 coin typically features the iconic platypus design on the reverse, which is one of Australia's most beloved native animals. On the front side, you will find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, which adds historical and cultural significance to the coin. When we look at the background of this coin, it represents not just currency, but Australian identity. The platypus design has been used since the very beginning, symbolizing uniqueness and national pride. In terms of composition, the 20 cents coin is made from cupronickel, which is a mixture of copper and nickel. This composition gives the coin its silver-like appearance and durability. Because of this strong metal blend, these coins can last many years even with regular use, which is why many of them are still found in circulation today. The coin weighs about 11.3 grams and has a distinctive edge that is not reeded but smooth, making it easy to recognize by touch. Now let's talk about collector demand, which is one of the most important factors when determining a coin's value. The 2002 Australian 20 cents coin is not considered extremely rare because it was minted in large numbers. However, demand still exists, especially among beginner collectors and those trying to complete year sets of Australian coins. Coins in very fine condition are especially appealing because they strike a balance between affordability and collectability. They are accessible to new collectors while still being meaningful pieces of history. If a coin has fewer scratches, better detail, and a cleaner surface, it naturally becomes more attractive to buyers. In recent years, coin collecting has been growing in popularity worldwide, and even common coins like this one are gaining attention. This means demand can slowly increase over time, especially for well-preset examples. Now let's discuss the part everyone is most curious about: the current market value. A 2002 Australian 20 cents coin in very fine condition generally has a modest value. In most cases, its market price ranges from about $1.40, 0 to $1,075,000 US, depending on the exact condition and the buyer's interest. If the coin is closer to the higher end of very fine condition, with strong detail and minimal wear, it could sell for slightly more. However, because it is not a rare coin, it usually does not reach very high prices. Still, it's important to remember that value is not just about money. For collectors, the historical and personal value of owning such coins can be much greater. If you're thinking about collecting coins like this one, there are some helpful things to keep in mind. Always pay attention to the condition of the coin. Even small differences in wear can affect value. Try to store your coins in protective holders to prevent damage from air, moisture, or handling. It's also a good idea to learn about mintages and variations. Sometimes coins from certain years or with small differences can become more valuable over time. Another great tip is to be patient. Coin collecting is not about quick profit, but about long-term enjoyment and discovery. Over time, even simple coins can become more desirable. To sum it all up, the Australia 20 cents coin from 2002 in very fine condition may not be extremely rare or highly valuable in terms of dollars, but it holds a special place in the world of coin collecting. It represents history, craftsmanship, and the everyday life of a nation. Whether you are a beginner or an experienced collector, coins like this remind us that every piece has a story worth appreciating. So next time you come across a coin like this, don't just see it as small change, see it as a small piece of history. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins and their values, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you in the Next up, today we're diving into the fascinating world of coin collecting, and we're going to explore a classic piece that continues to attract collectors from around the globe, the Australia 20-cent coin from 1968, in very fine condition. If you're a coin enthusiast or just curious about hidden value in everyday currency, this is going to be an exciting journey for you. Let's start with a bit of history. The Australian 20-cent coin was first introduced in 1966, right after Australia transitioned to decimal currency. By 1968, the coin had already become a familiar part of everyday life across the country. These coins were widely circulated, used in daily transactions, and handled by millions of people. That means surviving coins in better condition today, like very fine condition, hold a special place among collectors because they show moderate wear but still retain clear details. When we talk about a coin being in very fine condition, it means the coin has been used in circulation but still maintains much of its original design. You can still clearly see the features, although some of the finer details may be slightly worn. For a coin that is over 5 decades old, being in very fine condition is actually quite respectable and desirable. Now let's take a closer look at the background and composition of this coin. The Australian 20-cent coin from 1968 is made from cupronickel, which is a blend of copper and nickel. Specifically, it contains about. This composition gives the coin its silver-like appearance and durability, allowing it to withstand years of circulation. The coin features a beautiful design that reflects Australia's identity. On one side, you'll find the iconic platypus, a unique and fascinating animal native to Australia. Thus, this design has remained a favorite among collectors due to its distinctiveness and cultural significance. On the other side, the coin originally featured the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, symbolizing Australia's connection to the Commonwealth. The shape of the coin is also interesting. Unlike many coins around the world, the Australian 20-cent coin has a dodecagonal shape, meaning it has 12 sides. This makes it easy to recognize and adds to its uniqueness in the global coin market. Now let's talk about collector demand. Coins from the late 1960s are particularly interesting because they represent the early years of Australia's decimal currency system. Many collectors aim to complete sets from this period, and the 1968 Australian 20-cent coin plays an important role in those collections. While it's not extremely rare, demand remains steady because of its historical value and the nostalgia it carries. Collectors also appreciate coins in very fine condition because they strike a balance between affordability and quality. Not everyone can afford uncirculated or mint-condition coins, so very fine coins offer a great entry point for beginners while still being appealing to experienced collectors. Moving on to the current market value, the 1968 Australian 20-cent coin in very fine condition typically sells for a modest but respectable price. As of today's market, you can expect this coin to be worth around $1.40, 0 to 1, 88,000 US dollars, depending on its exact condition, eye appeal, and where it is sold. Some coins with better detail or cleaner surfaces might fetch slightly higher prices, especially if sold through auctions or to specialized collectors. It's important to remember that coin values can fluctuate over time based on market trends, collector interest, and availability. While this coin may not make you rich overnight, it holds steady value and is a great piece to include in any collection. Now let's share a few helpful tips for collectors who are interested in coins like this. Always pay attention to the condition of the coin, as even small differences can affect value. Store your coins properly in protective holders to prevent further wear or damage. Try to learn as much as you can about the history behind each coin, because knowledge not only enhances your enjoyment, but also helps you make better buying decisions. It's also a good idea to buy from trusted sellers or reputable marketplaces to ensure authenticity. And most importantly, collect coins that genuinely interest you. Passion is what makes coin collecting such a rewarding hobby. As we come to the conclusion, the Australia 20 cents coin from 1968 in very fine condition is a wonderful example of how everyday currency can turn into a meaningful collectible over time. It may not be extremely rare or highly valuable, but it carries history, culture, and a story that connects us to the past. Whether you're just starting your collection or adding another piece to your growing set, this coin is definitely worth your attention. It reminds us that even small things can hold great value when viewed through the lens of history and passion. Next up, today we're diving into the fascinating world of coin collecting, and we're going to talk about something very specific, yet surprisingly interesting: the Australia 20 cents coin from the year 2001, especially those pieces that show a unique rust green tone and are still in fine condition. If you have one of these coins, or you're thinking about collecting Australian currency, then this video is definitely for you. Let's start by understanding the history of this coin. The Australian 20 cents coin has been part of the country's currency system since 1966, when Australia switched to decimal currency. The design has remained fairly consistent over the years, with the iconic platypus featured on the reverse side. This beautiful and uniquely Australian animal adds both artistic and cultural value to the coin. The 2001 issue is not considered extremely rare in general circulation, but each coin can tell its own story depending on how it has aged over time. A coin that has developed a rust green tone, especially in fine condition, becomes more interesting to collectors because it reflects both age and environmental interaction. Now, when we talk about the condition of a coin, it plays a huge role in determining its value. A fine condition coin means that it has been circulated but still retains clear details. The platypus design is visible, the text is readable, and while there may be some wear, the coin hasn't lost its overall appearance. The rust green coloration you might see on some 2001 coins is usually a result of oxidation. Even though this might sound like damage, in some cases it adds character to the coin and makes it stand out from regular shiny pieces. For certain collectors, this unique look can actually make the coin more appealing rather than less. Composition: the Australian 20 cents coin is made from cupronickel, which is a mixture of copper and nickel. This composition gives the coin durability and resistance to corrosion. But over time, and under certain environmental conditions, slight discoloration can still occur. The standard weight is around 11.31 grams, and the coin has a distinctive scalloped edge, making it easily recognizable even by touch. These physical characteristics remain consistent across most years, including the 2001 issue, which helps collectors verify authenticity. Now let's talk about collector demand, which is one of the most exciting parts of coin collecting. Generally, the 2001 Australian 20 cents coin is not considered rare in large numbers, but demand increases when the coin has something unique about it. In this case, the rust green tone combined with a fine condition can attract attention. Some collectors are always looking for coins that are slightly different from the norm. These variations, even if they are not officially classified as errors, can still create a niche demand in the market. The more unusual the appearance, the more likely it is to catch a collector's eye, especially someone who appreciates coins with history and character. Now let's come to the most important question: what is the current market value of this coin? In general, a standard 2001 Australian 20 cents coin in circulated condition is worth which is 20,000 Australian dollars. However, when you consider a coin that has a distinctive rust green appearance and is still in fine condition, the value can go slightly higher depending on the buyer. Typically, such coins might sell for anywhere between 140,000 to 1,075,000 Australian dollars in the collector market. In rare cases, if the coin's toning is particularly attractive or unusual, it could fetch a bit more, especially in online auctions where collectors compete for unique pieces. It's important to remember that value is not just about rarity, but also about visual appeal and collector interest. For those of you who are collectors or planning to become one, here are some useful tips to keep in mind. Always store your coins in a dry and safe environment to prevent further oxidation or damage. Avoid cleaning your coins, as cleaning can reduce their value significantly. Natural aging is often more appreciated than artificial shine. It's also a good idea to research and compare similar coins on marketplaces to understand pricing trends. Building knowledge over time will help you make better buying and selling decisions. And most importantly, collect what you enjoy, because passion's the true value behind any collection. As we wrap up, the Australia 20 cents 2001 coin with a rust green tone in fine condition may not be extremely rare, but it certainly has its own charm. Its history, composition, and unique appearance make it a small yet meaningful piece of numismatic interest. Whether you are a beginner or an experienced collector, coins like this remind us that even everyday currency can hold hidden stories and value. Next up, today we're diving into a fascinating and valuable piece of Australian coin history, the 1967 Australian 20 cents coin, especially in very fine condition. If you're a coin collector or just curious about old coins and their worth, this video is going to give you a complete picture in a simple and enjoyable way. So stay with me as we explore its history, condition, composition, collector demand, current market value, and some helpful tips for collectors. Let's begin with the history of this beautiful coin. The Australian 20 cents coin was first introduced in 1966, right after Australia transitioned to decimal currency. The 1967 issue is among the early coins from this new decimal system, which makes it historically significant. These coins were widely circulated, meaning they were used in everyday transactions by millions of people across Australia. Now, when we talk about a very fine condition coin, it means the coin has been in circulation, but still retains a lot of its original details. You can still clearly see the main design elements, though there may be some wear on the higher points. For collectors, this condition is quite desirable because it balances affordability with good visual appeal. A 1967 coin in very fine condition still tells a story of the past while maintaining a strong collectible presence. Composition of the coin, the 1967 Australian 20 cents coin, is made from copper-nickel, which is an alloy of copper and nickel. This composition gives the coin its silver-like appearance and also makes it quite durable. That's why many of these coins have survived decades of circulation. The design itself is also worth appreciating. On one side, you'll find the iconic platypus, one of Australia's most unique and beloved animals. The design captures the movement and natural beauty of the platypus in water, making it both artistic and symbolic. On the other side, you'll see the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, representing Australia's connection to the British monarchy during that era. The combination of these elements makes the coin visually appealing and historically meaningful. Now let's talk about collector demand, which plays a huge role in determining the value of any coin. The 1967 Australian 20 cents coin is quite popular among collectors, especially those who focus on Australian decimal coins. While it's not considered extremely rare, its early mintage year gives it a special place in collections. Collectors appreciate coins like this because they represent the beginning of a new monetary system. The demand increases further when the coin is in better condition, such as very fine or higher. Many collectors also look for coins from specific years to complete their sets, and 1967 is often on that list. Because of this steady interest, the coin maintains a stable demand in the market. Let's move on to the most exciting part, the current market value. As of today, a 1967 Australian 20 cents coin in very fine condition generally ranges between around $1.75, $0 to $188,000. The exact price can vary depending on factors like the coin's appearance, any unique characteristics, and where it is being sold. If the coin is in better condition, such as extremely fine or uncirculated, the value can increase further. However, even in very fine condition, this coin holds a respectable value and is a great entry point for new collectors. It's also worth noting that market trends can change over time, so keeping an eye on recent sales can always help you get the best understanding of its current worth. For those of you who are interested in collecting coins like this, here are some helpful thoughts to keep in mind. Always try to store your coins in a safe and dry environment to prevent damage. Using coin holders or albums can protect them from scratches and environmental effects. It's also a good idea to learn how to grade coins properly, as the condition greatly impacts value. Even small differences in wear can make a noticeable difference in price. Buying from trusted sellers and comparing prices before making a purchase can help you make smarter decisions. Another great tip is to enjoy the process. Coin collecting is not just about value, it's about history, art, and the stories behind each piece. Coins like the 1,967 Australian 20 cents are wonderful because they connect you to a specific time in history. To wrap things up, the 1,967 Australian 20 cents coin in very fine condition is a charming and historically significant piece that holds steady value and strong collector interest. Its durable composition, beautiful design, and connection to the early days of decimal currency make it a great addition to any collection. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced collector, this coin offers both affordability and historical appeal. Keep exploring, keep collecting, and most importantly, enjoy the journey of discovering coins from around the world.